Welcome to Legacy Leaders, a weekly talk show with national and local thought leaders on issues impacting the South Florida Black community. Now introducing our host, Anne-Marie Sorrell.
Welcome to Legacy Leaders. I'm Anne-Marie Sorrell, President and CEO of the Mosaic Group, your award-winning global go-to agency for marketing, public relations, and advertising. Today, we will be discussing a conversation with candidates presented by Black Men Win. Elections are around the corner, and we will be interviewing various candidates and understanding their stance on various issues, as well as why you should get out and vote. Welcome back to Legacy Leaders. I am joined by James Reyes, who is running for Miami-Dade County Sheriff. Now, if you did not know, this is the first time in 60 years that Miami-Dade County voters will be able to elect their own sheriff. This is history in the making. James, welcome to Legacy Media. And what is your take on this?
Thank you so much. Well, obviously, we're very excited, right? I'm an excited candidate, excited to campaign as we move forward here. It's the first time in 60 years that we're going to elect a sheriff here in Miami-Dade County. We have 67 counties in Florida, and we're the last standing. We're the last county out of all the counties that hadn't elected a sheriff, and I'm excited to be currently serving my hometown as Chief of Public Safety, but even more so now being a candidate for sheriff in my hometown is truly a special moment, and I'm truly overwhelmed by the amount of support that we have, and I'm truly excited moving forward.
Well, as you should be. This is a very exciting moment. And, for our voters because this is new, so they may not understand exactly how the sheriff would govern and where they would govern, because most of the municipalities in Miami-Dade County do have their own police department. So can you enlighten our voters on what the sheriff would cover specifically?
Sure. So currently, we're an extension of county government. So our police director is responsible for the unincorporated areas of Miami-Dade County and the three cities that we contract with: Miami Lakes, Palmetto Bay, and Cutler Bay. But as a sheriff, you're elected by people all across the county. So you're here to serve everyone, whether they have a municipal police department or not. So I think one of the things that you could expect that I experienced during my tenure at a sheriff's office is more collaboration and more communication with the sheriff throughout the county, whether or not there's a municipal police department involved or not. And I think our residents are going to find that very refreshing. And they're going to notice that the sheriff is going to take a leadership role within the county. I think I always tell folks, my police director, she's doing a great job, Stephanie Daniels. Her priority, she views it as enforcing the law. But what you'll see from a sheriff is the sheriffs that I know that have done it the right way, they take the role of serving as the conscience of the community. And those are two very different things, because that truly goes to the role of having the voice from a leadership perspective and making sure that the organization from a priority and value standpoint reflects the priorities and values of the community, particularly those who elect you into office.
Absolutely. And speaking of priorities and values, as you know in your experience, I'm sure in law enforcement, that there's been a lot of talk and a lot of initiatives, some effective, some successful, around police reform, especially in Black and brown communities. And so I want to understand your take on police reform, or what can be done to improve the relationships as well as some of the policies that impacts Black and brown communities the most.
Yeah. So one of my priorities is building public trust. Without a doubt, we know that we cannot ensure public safety in our county if we don't have the trust of the community that we're here to serve. Communication is key. Transparency is key. You have to lead with transparency. You have to communicate and be present within the community. My role, being here, being everywhere, doesn't stop after the election. If anything, it's
Great.
more. If anything, it's amplified that much more, right? Because that's the expectation that everyone should have of their elected sheriff. And a key component, obviously, to building trust, in addition to having open lines of communication with our community, in addition to transparency with our community, is accountability. And we're going to be at the forefront, and me as the leader of the organization, I'm going to be at the forefront when we do things right, and I'm also going to be in the forefront when we don't get it right, and explaining to the county how we're going to fix it, and more than just that, holding the folks accountable that don't get it right. I think our community is indebted that, And I think that once we establish that trust, and I'm working on it currently as Chief of Public Safety, overseeing police, fire, and corrections, and I'm looking to build upon that once I'm Sheriff of Miami-Dade County.
Here you have it, Chief James Reyes, who is running for Miami-Dade County Sheriff in what is a very important upcoming election. Not only is it important that you get out and select your candidate for the next president of the United States, but also your local elections are super important as these decisions govern your daily life. So be sure to get out and vote. And before we close, how do they learn more about you and your candidacy, and how do they reach you if they want to get involved in your campaign?
It's quite simple. JamesReyes.vote. All the information, all my platform, all my communication links are there. JamesReyes.vote.
Awesome. So stay tuned as we will bring you additional candidates at Black Men Win Conversations with Candidates. Welcome back to Legacy Leaders. I'm your host, Anne Marie Sorrell, and I am joined by Rosie Cordero-Stutz, who is running for Miami-Dade County Sheriff Office. And as I had stated before, this is the first time in 60 years that Miami-Dade County residents will be able to cast their vote for their very own sheriff. Welcome to Legacy Leaders, Rosie.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
You're welcome. So tell us about, what do you think about this historic opportunity to possibly become the first sheriff for Miami-Dade County?
Well, I am a 28-year veteran of the Miami-Dade Police Department, and I've been serving this community as a police officer. I started on the road in patrol, and I came up the ranks, right? So I was an officer, a detective, sergeant, lieutenant, police major, police chief, and my current assignment as the assistant director over investigative services. So for me, in my entire career, I never thought this would happen in Miami-Dade County. But then the laws changed, and here we are. And more than anything, it is important for me that we go through this transition in the safest, securest way possible, because safety is about our entire community. So for me, it is of the utmost importance what is happening right now in our county.
Well, I want to say kudos to you from one woman to the next and all of your accomplishments. And not only would this be historic, but traditionally, most sheriffs are men. So you're competing in a male-dominated area of politics. Tell me what your thoughts are on that, and especially for the opportunity to possibly become a woman sheriff for Miami-Dade County.
Wow. So my whole professional life has been in law enforcement. I knew I wanted to be a police officer when I was a little girl. My mama said that was the first time I said that to her. And for me, the job is a calling. You get to serve your community. It literally fills my soul. It fills my buckets. And as I went up the ranks, I did it because I recognized that I could do a little bit better at the next level and a little bit better. And so now for me, being sheriff, that's exactly what it's about. It's about giving to this community someone who understands where we have been in our county, who understands where we need to be as a county, and to do it in an office that's independent and stands alone. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I have my master's degree in public administration, and I'm a graduate of the FBI National Academy in Leadership for Law Enforcement. This is my profession, and I'm bringing these skills to being a sheriff. The fact that I'm a woman is a cherry on top, because I know I bring a whole different set of skills when it comes to being a woman in my career and in my family and in our business. We all do as women.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing your plan. And how does one reach you, first of all, if they want to learn more about you, about your candidacy, or get involved with your campaign? And then what's a closing thought that you would like to leave with our listeners?
So if you would like to know more about me, you can look me up at www.voteforrosie or ROSIE.com, voteforrosie.com. And if you scroll to the bottom of that front page, there's a place where you can put in your name and mailing address, email address, and we can send you more information, or if you would like to volunteer as well. As a closing thought, I would say to our community, above and beyond everything, please get out to vote. It is so important that we use our voices. It is part of our rights as a citizen, and it's a blessing that we can choose who we want to lead us. Second, I'm going to say that my promise and commitment to this county is to continue my 28 years of service and to do all those things that I believed that we can do better. and I have the skill set to make that happen. So I humbly ask for your vote.
Well, there you have it. Rosie Cordera Stutz, who is running for Miami-Dade County Sheriff. You've heard from both candidates, and now you have the opportunity to make an informed choice. Stay tuned as we bring you additional candidates here at Black Men Win.
The November 5th general election. It's your voice and your vote. So make it count. Request your vote by mail ballot before October 24th. Easily track and confirm your vote online. Take action at miamidade.gov/vote by mail or call 311.
We're made, surrounded, and thrown into it, fed, energized, and supported by it. Water makes everything possible, from the very firsts to the everyday, during the make or breaks, or after lazy days, for the dreams come true, and everything in between. Because water is life.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Welcome back to Legacy Leaders. I'm your host, Anne Marie Sorrell, and I am joined by Alina Garcia, Representative Alina Garcia, who is currently a state representative, and she is running for supervisor of elections for Miami-Dade County. And Alina, this is a new constitutional office, from my understanding, that the voters will be able to now elect in Miami-Dade County for the first time in about 50 years or so, their own supervisory elections by a voting process.
That is correct. We have a supervisor of elections that is actually the mayor. The mayor is the supervisor of elections, and then you have a director that they call the supervisor of elections. Her name is Christina White, and she's done a great job. We just had an election in the primaries, and at 7:15, we already knew the results, and everything was effective and very good. So we have a great system of election in Miami-Dade County. I just want to ensure that we continue to build on that and have more education and more transparency, because, you know, Miami-Dade County is a county that you have a lot of people that come and they move here and they become U.S. citizens, and they've never had the opportunity to vote in their countries. So it's very important that we educate and we have transparency.
Absolutely. And this is such a critical role at a critical time where there's so much happening with voter suppression and, various, issues with ballots and elections as a whole around the country. And so you're taking your political experience as a current state representative. What made you want to do this transition from state representative to supervisor of elections?
Well, I'm the mother of 3 and the grandmother of 11. And I want to ensure that Miami-Dade County keeps going in the right direction. I am a very fair person. With age comes wisdom. I have wisdom, and I am ready to roll up my sleeves and work.
So what is it that you'd want them to remember about you as they cast their vote?
Well, I wanted to remember that I am a doer. I've always been a doer. I have a track record. I've been involved in politics, and I've worked for different positions, for the state, for the House, for the Senate, for the county, for the city of Miami, for for cabinet members. So I've been around for a while, and everybody that knows me knows that I am a doer. I will get things done, and I'll ensure that our elections are transparent, fair, and efficient.
And if someone wants to learn more about you, Alina, who may not know about you, I don't know how, because you've been around for a while, but if they want to know more about you, Alina, how can they reach you? If they want to get involved as we, count down to Election Day, how can they reach you or learn more?
AlinaGarciaMiami.com. AlinaGarciaMiami.com. That's my website. And my telephone number is 305-905-4154. That's my cell phone. I have it on all my literature, and I'll continue to do that because I think it's important that we have communication.
Well, there you have it, y'all. We have Miss Alina, State Representative Alina Garcia with us. Thank you for being on Legacy Leaders. And remember to get out there and vote. You have the information, you have their contact information so you can make an informed decision. Elections are underway, so be sure to get out there and vote. We'll be right back with more candidates at Black Men Win Conversations with Candidates. Welcome back to Legacy Leaders. I am now joined by Daniela Jean, who is a city commissioner for the city of North Miami Beach, and she is up for re-election. Welcome, Daniela.
Hi.
So tell the voters, let's talk about some of your accomplishments first so the voters can know what you have accomplished in your first term and what you're looking to do if you're reelected.
Absolutely. It's such a pleasure to be here. And, when we have a limited amount of time to do great things, I know that one of the things I've been focusing on is literacy, education. Those are the two pillars that I've really been focusing on, educating our residents about literacy and also educating the children of our community. So I've passed a lot of legislation to do such things. For example, we have our first educational compact with the school board to create pathways for our families. Also, a literacy project that helps families also read more and get more into our libraries because education is the pathway to success. I've also focused a lot on small businesses development, initiating the first Small Business Expo with the city of North Miami Beach, which has been super successful. And more so than anything, procurement and vendor registrations has been on the increase, especially for minority businesses. That's been one of the things I've been able to really champion for us to educate our small business owners on the grants and the opportunities that they have to level up and really scale their businesses.
Absolutely. Well, I know I have definitely seen you not just being out and about, but I've seen the work that you've put in around literacy, around small businesses. And so, if you're reelected, what would be different, or would there be a continuity of those efforts, or do you have plans for any new initiatives?
Absolutely. I believe that our resources is part of our community, and I want to do more resource mapping for our residents. A lot of them are struggling right now with social economical, issues. And so I want to be the person that helps bridge them to all the connections within the county, within the state government. There's a lot of things that our residents don't know that they can benefit from. And that's going to be part of the continuation of the work. I also want to do more work around procurement and contracts, government contracts, because a lot of our local businesses want to know, how do I get a contract? How do I get more acclimated with that process? So I want to do the work in that space as well. In addition, a health initiative for our residents to get more wellness into their daily routine. So I've started with a Zumba class that kind of launched in the last 2 months, and I want to continue to champion health and wellness in the community.
Well, they say health is wealth, that is super important. Now, what would you like to let voters know as we wind down to elections? Early voting is starting, vote by mail, ballots have gone out,
yes,
and people are starting to cast their votes. So if you could say one main thing or one nugget that you want the voters to know about you and why they should cast their vote for you, Daniela, what would it be?
I'm your voice. I'm your voice. I am your champion. I am your advocate. You watched me over the last 3 years fight for you, fight for your needs, fight for the things that are most important for you and your family to thrive and have a higher quality of life. And that's basically what I want to continue doing on a higher scale. I believe that currently voters are being suppressed. A lot of folks don't know that they won't automatically receive an absentee ballot. Voter registration deadlines are coming up. So I want to make sure that the voters remember that their vote needs to be cast, and invite a friend to vote, invite a neighbor to vote, and let's continue to do the great work.
Awesome. And so how do voters reach you if they want to get involved in these last, several weeks of getting the vote out? How do they get involved, and how do they reach you to learn? And if they don't know about you yourself and your candidacy, how do they learn more about you?
The best way to do so is to call me directly. I'll give you my cell, and also to reach me on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, download the app today. But they can reach me 305-978-3748. That's my personal cell. for North Miami Beach residents who want to reach out or anyone that wants to be part of the movement. And the IG handle is Daniela Jean, Jean NMB.
Daniela Jean, a candidate for re-election for City Commissioner, City of North Miami Beach, Seat 3. Make sure you get out and vote, and we'll be right back with more candidates.
The November 5th general election. It's your voice and your vote. So make it count. Request your vote by mail ballot before October 24th. Easily track and confirm your vote online. Take action at miamidade.gov/vote by mail or call 311.
We're made, surrounded, and thrown into it, fed, energized, and supported by it. Water makes everything possible, from the very firsts to the everyday, during the make or breaks, or after lazy days, for the dreams come true, and everything in between. Because water is life.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Welcome back to Legacy Leaders. I'm your host, Anne Marie Sorrell, and we are here at Black Men Win Conversations with Candidates. And I am here with State Representative Christopher Benjamin, who is a candidate for Miami-Dade County Judge, which is a county judge, Group 29. Welcome to Legacy Leaders, Representative Benjamin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. So for many of our voters, oftentimes there are judges on the ballot, but we really don't always understand what level of judge we're voting for and what their role is and why this seat is important. So can you tell us a little bit more about the seat and why it's important for voters?
Sure. And the county court is important, even though it's what is considered the lower trial court. It is a court that is most in contact with the everyday person. And we handle money issues, money disputes that are under $50,000. We also handle criminal issues that are misdemeanors. And we handle a lot of the small claims and the traffic issues, as well as the eviction matters. So we handle a lot of the common everyday issues.
That sounds like everybody should be voting for this position, because you really do handle everything that we deal with as residents on a daily basis. Yeah. So that's really important to know. So why was this seat important for you to run for? Like, what's your why?
Well, although I'm the state representative now, 10 years before I was elected, I was a traffic court magistrate here in Miami-Dade County. And my interaction with the people that I served was eye-opening. It was an amazing experience. And, the administration of justice I think is one of the greatest things that a person with legal experience can do. And so after having made some laws, I wanted to come home and continue to serve my community in that capacity, to make a change and a difference for people every day.
That is awesome. And so what would you want to communicate to voters as we wind down and get closer to Election Day? Absentee ballots have gone out, or vote by mail ballots have gone out, and early voting is approaching. What would you want to say as they, go through their ballot? Of course, it's a full ballot. So how do you want voters to remember you? What's important for them to understand or remember about you, Representative Benjamin?
I think first and foremost, they need to vote the entire ballot. All right. Don't leave anyone out. We are the only judicial race that's still going. We started out with 3 people. I led after the primary. I led the pack. So it's been my life's work to serve the people, and I want to keep serving the people in this particular capacity. I think in my race, I am the most qualified person for this seat. And on November 5th, everyone should punch 90 for Christopher Benjamin for County Court Judge.
That's awesome. And if someone wants to get involved in the campaign or just want to learn more about you, because we couldn't cover a whole lot about your background here, if they want to learn more about you or get involved in your campaign, how do they reach you, Representative Benjamin?
Please go to my website at benjaminforjudge.com. You have my entire background on that website. It's truly an amazing website. And listen, I've been doing this for 20-something years. I've been involved in my community. I've been a magistrate for 15 years, an attorney for 22 years. Service has been my life's calling, and it's been a pleasure to serve you, and I look forward to continue to serve.
Well, thank you for being a public servant. Thank you for putting yourself out to run for county judge, and definitely wish you all the best. And we appreciate you joining us here on Legacy Leaders. And again, we have Representative Christopher Benjamin, who is a candidate for Miami-Dade County Judge. Make sure you get out and cast your vote, and we'll be right back.